just really, really knew that there had to be some sort of divine intervention. There had to be a connection with some sort of spiritual being or higher power, so to speak, in order to bring me up out of a state that I was in to get me to where I'm at today and to continue me moving forward, because I couldn't do it by myself. I had proven that. There was years and years of back and forth of incarceration, and you know, once I started putting some discipline in my life, living by you know, a good set of spiritual universal rules, the help just came from most unexpected places.
Yeah.
People started putting their arms around me and really, really assisting me in my process. And you know, no man is an island. I mean, we all have to join in. And I mean, I'm a resident of Newark. I live in the South Ward, and I mean, my community, it's really, you can see how our street is bonding together in order to address some of the issues, and that's what we have to do.
And both of you guys are talking about this breaking point, and I want to get to yours, Earl. But I've met two types of guys who've come to us for help, and I really mean you guys. One is those people who've gotten so low that they're doing things they hit that rock bottom and turn their lives around. And then some guys, and we both know those guys, they're brash, they think they're invincible and vulnerable, and they're out there doing things that are wrong, but something gets to them before they hit the crash, and they say, you know what, I got to back out of this. And what do you think that is? Is it the breaking point? Is it the how do you get through to somebody? If I'm a family member, how do I get through to somebody to help them get to that point where they change their lives around? Because I don't like to see people having to descend to the lowest of the low. Is there a way to get to people that you know of? Is there a magic, a sort of way to make it happen?
Maybe Earl can answer this, but I don't really think there is a magic answer. I can remember my mother telling me for years, you know, you have a hard head. You have to start learning from others' mistakes.
Right, not your
own. All right, now stop making your own mistakes. You're making your bed very hard, and you're the one that's going to have to lie in it. And that's what happened. I mean, you try to get people to see that there are options. There's another way to live. But again, you have to be able to provide that. And the conflict is, a lot of times, that type of lifestyle, that street lifestyle, that almost deviant sub-economy that is driving through the urban communities, it's very fast-paced money, and it's not waiting for a check all week and, you know, paying taxes. Everything is just real fast-paced. So you have to really get individuals to buy into the whole process. All right, so it's not just getting them a job, it's the support on showing them how to manage money.
Right.
You know.
Well, I want to get to those things so important, but
sure.
I want to give you a chance, Earl, to speak to that question.
I think that I was broken. I mean, I just became broken, and I think people have to get broken. I didn't come willing. Nobody usually comes willing. It's usually some kind of circumstance in your life that makes you change some kind of way. And I found out that it's more than a job. It's more than those things. It's that, you know, I was broken down so low that, I mean, I'm walking around in the 80s with hardly nothing on. I mean, like, I became a vagabond of some sort, and I was broken. I mean, I was broken. I mean, I was so low. And what I found out for me is that when I started talking and addressing the issues that had happened to me and started, you know, talking about those things, I started to get better. And even the day, you know, when this March of 2010, I went back to the city of Orange because I was so broken and caused so much criminal activity in that area that, you know, I asked the police department up there to forgive me and the city of Orange to forgive me for...
But you did more than that. You thanked them.
I thanked them for locking me up because I needed something to stop me from what I was doing. And every time I'm in the supermarket or I'm at a red light, somebody will call out, you know what, I always wanted to do something like what you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always wanted to tell somebody that I was abused too. A lady, even my bank manager down the street at Wachovia tells me, she says, you know what, can I see you in my office for a minute? She said, when you said in the newspaper that you were abused, it happened to me too.
Yeah. So this is the powerful, and I'm because really this touches me, and I know we need to get to the pragmatic aspects real quick, but these are powerful stories of personal redemption.
Yes.
And there's stories coming through every faith: Islam, Christianity, Judaism. When you're in the pit,
right?
You're in the pit, and whether it's Joseph or Daniel, and you're delivered out of that pit. There's so much healing, and it's not just in your spirit and soul, but what you guys are doing is now really becoming healing forces in the world, or in our larger Newark community.
Right.
And that moment, I have to say, I read that article. I was home alone.
Yes.
And I teared up because I know you, and to see the humility of your spirit and the strength and the courage of your heart to actually say publicly that I, first of all, thank you to the police department, apologizing to people, sharing the most private of pain and injury. What I think you did there is not only a redemptive force of your own spirit, but as you said, you gave healing to other people and almost permission that there is a pathway out.
Right. And most of the people that I see now, even when they come into our office and I talk to them, this is a uniform. I've been where you've been. This is part of the culture of the way I dress. But, I know what you're going through today. I know the pain that you're feeling.
Right.
I know that because I personally believe that everybody has had some kind of traumatic experience in their life of why they're acting out the way it is. Now, there's places that our organization can help you go to be able to get services for that. But you don't have to be the way you are.
Right. So I want to get to that now. Because I love when I see you in room 113 in City Hall. Sometimes you see me, I'm having somebody in tow bringing you. Right. So I really want to talk about what you do, but I want to start here first because we had a big press conference this week.
Yes.
I bragged about this all over the country. Everybody will listen to me because I think it's one of those unique victories in Newark, no place else in New Jersey, that Newark's not getting the kind of pride and credit for what we're doing. So first, what is OAR? And then let's talk about Pest at Rest.
Okay. OAR stands for Offender Aid and Restoration, and it's a nonprofit Newark-based agency that's been servicing exclusively the formerly incarcerated population for over 25 years. The executive director is Dr. Jenny Brown, and the mission is to really rebuild each individual so that they will in turn be able to return to their families, strengthen the family system that will eventually strengthen the community. So when an individual returns from incarceration, then what will happen is they're going through an intake process, they're given an assessment, and then they're matched up with a case manager. All right, so we keep each individual a very client-centered process. All right, one of the things that Newark Prisoner Reentry Initiative has afforded us is it's given us a very streamlined process. There's been uniformity, all right, brought to us by your Office of Reentry, which had never happened before in the city of Newark. It's your vision just has been so. We're all so enthused in this field because this has never been done. We've never had access to data and been able to track the way that we are now.
Yeah.
And I was doing reentry work prior to the NPRI project. So this has been a tremendous really project, and we really applaud you, Mr. Mayor, for bringing this to Newark.
But it's all about partnerships. I mean, we had a lot of good things going on before my administration began, but what we've been able to do, and it's really not my administration, simply it's you all and a whole bunch of other providers, and you know that, Earl, is we've been able to weave together what we're doing into a much better network and a much stronger network. And then that was really the story of the first few years that we were working on this. And now we're starting to get like almost fancy because we're doing the basics and the hard work that you do every day in OAR. But then we're starting to add things on that are really worthy of praise.
Yes.
And so you guys partnered with the Doe Fund, with the City of Newark, to do something extraordinary last week. What was that?
Okay, there's a program that's called the Pest at Rest program. And as you know, there's a lot of policy and legislation that causes barriers for individuals that are returning home from incarceration. And it makes it where they're not able to get licensures or certifications to practice a field that would bring them a living wage, and a wage that would be able to take care of their families. The Doe Fund, along with the City of Newark and OAR, has identified that the extermination field, the pest extermination, is not one of those fields. and we're getting ready to